curious, slightly hushed tone. Millions of people all over the world shed real, devastating tears over a neighborhood that doesn't exist, in a country they've never been to, during a decade they might not even remember. The television drama Reply 1988 drops you straight into the packed street markets of late 1980s Seoul. It surrounds you with the sound of cicadas, the smell of street food, and a highly specific cultural etiquette that feels entirely foreign to an outsider. Outside the bounds of this quiet alleyway, South Korea was experiencing intense political upheaval, with student protesters clashing with riot police on the streets over democratic rights. This raises a question about how a specific, distant history can somehow mimic the texture of a personal memory for a total stranger. The show's resonance relies on the specific mechanics of human connection, friendship, first love, and nostalgia, rather than the plot itself. To understand how this works, we have to look at the physical design of the neighborhood. The physical layout of the Songmun-dong alleyway forces people together. The gates of the 5 main houses open directly toward one another, and without sprawling front lawns or tall privacy fences, stepping outside means you are immediately face-to-face with your neighbors. This diagram shows how that spatial design erases the boundaries between biological family and community. The continuous exchange of dinner dishes and perpetually open front doors turn 5 separate households into a single, interlinked organism. The support runs deeper than shared meals. When one family faces sudden bankruptcy or a medical crisis, the others silently pool their limited money and emotional bandwidth to absorb the shock. This is the peak of the village dynamic, a tight-knit ecosystem where survival and joy are entirely collective. Compare that environment to the average modern viewer, who often lives in a state of physical isolation, defined by high-rise apartments and digital interactions. The neighborhood design satisfies a deep-seated craving for collective survival, allowing the audience to feel the same security and belonging as the characters on screen. The series features a famous central mystery regarding which of the childhood friends the main character will eventually marry. This husband-guessing game operates as a narrative engine, providing the momentum needed to watch the characters grow up. The first love storyline acts as a mechanism to drag these characters into the painful milestones of transitioning into adulthood. Growth is driven by relatable failures, the tragedy of showing up 5 minutes too late, the weight of a confession swallowed to protect a friendship, and the quiet sacrifices young people make when they realize the world does not revolve around their desires. The physical world around the characters makes these emotional milestones hit with maximum impact. The set design uses historically accurate props, like the heavy black charcoal briquettes families stacked outside to heat their floors through freezing winters. These personal moments are then tied to recorded history. When the characters participate in the 1988 Summer Olympics, the fictional storyline binds to real-world footage gathered in that stadium. This creates a state known as anemoia, the distinct, aching feeling of nostalgia for a time and place you have never personally known. When a fictional story is anchored in these undeniable physical realities, the brain begins to treat the experience with the same weight as objective history, eventually cataloging these moments alongside our own genuine memories. The series eventually reveals that the 1980s setting and the romance are vehicles for its true subject, the inevitable impermanence of youth. The finale delivers an emotional shock through a quiet exodus. The families pack up and move away one by one, and the once vibrant alleyway is left abandoned and crumbling as modern development takes over. The simple passage of time is the true, unstoppable antagonist. It acts as a tape that eventually runs out of ribbon, taking the vibrancy of youth with it. When the characters leave Songmun-dong forever, the door closes behind them, mirroring our own inability to return to the specific eras of our past. The heavy grief for Songmun-dong reflects a universal longing for our own abandoned childhood bedrooms and the friendships that quietly faded into closed chapters of life. If you appreciate stories that examine why we feel the things we do, take a second to subscribe to the channel, and take a look around at your own daily routine, the people you see, and the places you walk through. Recognize the beauty of your present moment.